Hey guys. Hello? 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 There we go. So hi guys, welcome. Ooh. Which one is me? Hey guys. I think this should be very good quality tonight. Not just the talk, but the new setup. Very nice. I'll just share you on Facebook. Somebody is saying there is delay. Let me check it out, because I have had this problem before with this camera. So I shall check it out in just a second. Oh, still says the 1st of February. The 22nd. Wow, I've been doing these for so many years. Amazing. That keep on managing to find things to talk about. Amazing that you guys still stay interested as well. Maybe it's different people. I'm not hearing any sound. Hello? Hello? Sound going in. Let's have a look at it on here. No. Oh, yes. Yes. We want it to be from here. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Sorry, guys. Now I hear what you guys hear. Ooh. It's cool. Okay. I'm just going to make my tea and then we will start. Oh wow, I have to be really... quiet around the table. I can see that. Cool. Okay, so try not to move, Lisa. Moving creates lots of sound. For you guys, I'm sorry. I'm just putting my feet up. We'll see how long Khaleesi lasts because I didn't give her a bone yet. So wow, everything I do makes a lot of sound. Every movement I make. Let's just move this forward. Has a little hat on it, as you can see. Maybe I can just move it to the side. Whoops, sorry guys. Whoop. Maybe I can move it to the side more. Get it out of your way. Oh. Everything makes sound. This is something new for me to get used to. But you can hear me nicely. Okay, well, here we are. So hi guys, welcome to live stream. I do this every Sunday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. French time, and you're very welcome to join me on my YouTube channel. It's live from my YouTube channel, and if not, you can watch it afterwards on my YouTube channel. This is how you subscribe to my new YouTube channel and how you make sure that you get the notifications that I've gone live. So, hang on, just let me make sure I've got audio in this. Yes. So this is how you do it. Basically, you type in my YouTube channel. So just go to YouTube and put in my name, Lisa Cairns. Then click on my page, YouTube page, and click subscribe. Once you've clicked subscribe, go to the little bell next to it and put send notifications. Done. So that's all you have to do. So I'll just show you that again. You go to YouTube, put in my name, Miss Lisa Cairns, and click on Lisa Cairns. Subscribe. Next. Okay, that's how you do it. And if you go to my website, you will see my events. My next up-and-coming event is in Spain. That is in about 2.5 weeks near Malaga. And it's a week retreat. And it's a really beautiful place in the mountains. I think there's 2 places left, so if you want to participate, you can still participate by going to my website and seeing the event. The next event that I have after that is an event in Paris at the end of April. So the weekend at the end of April, which I think is the 28th and 29th of April. I haven't put it on my website yet because I keep forgetting, and I need to update my website with that. And that's Weekend Talks in Paris. Then, after that, I have a week retreat in the south of France. It's in a really beautiful place in the south of France, and it's a week retreat. So you can go to my website and see that. Yes. Very nice. What else haven't I informed you about? I'm sure there's many things that I haven't informed you about. But I think most of you are here to listen to non-duality rather than things, events, and how to subscribe. If you want to call in during this session, then the way that you get to call in is you've got to friend me on Skype. And my Skype address is lisacairns12. So friend me on Skype. And I really need you guys to do your part and get headphones and a microphone, because if you call in where you haven't got semi-decent audio, then it's really uncomfortable for the other listeners. So so make sure you get that set up. So if you have Apple, then just your Apple headset, it's got a little microphone in it. That works perfectly. If not, what can happen is it reverberates back and forwards, sort of has an echo on it. So it's better if you get this, and then you won't be driving other people crazy because they're sitting listening to us, and then suddenly something funny happens with your audio, and it's if they've got their headset in when they're listening, it's like, ah! So, yeah. Best you don't ask to call in if you haven't set that up already, because in the moment of things, I'll just accept it more than likely, and it's better you don't. I'll kind of forget in the moment of things. You can also write me questions on Skype. And I know it's really nerve-wracking calling in or writing, but you're very welcome to take your time. You know, if you call up and then you're nervous, you can just say, I'm nervous, I'm just going to take a few minutes just to feel my feelings and to calm down. Feel the feelings. Just going to move the microphone again. I think it'll be much better this side. And also, I have my diffuser on. And I think it would be much better with that on as well, with that off. But that requires me getting up and turning it off. You most probably... Oops, sorry guys. I'm sorry. You most probably can hear it. It's kind of going on and off like... The reason I'm putting the little coat on it is because then when my computer heats up, it takes away that background sound. Little coat, that's what it is. Looks a little bit strange to you guys. This is sticking up in there. Just move it again, but every time I move it, I make you guys in agony again, I think. There we go. Perfect. Very exciting. So I will get used to this over time, and we'll stop blowing your ears out. Please tell me if I'm too quiet for you. I can turn it up. Okay, now an introduction into non-duality. You know, most of my day I never think about non-duality at all. It just doesn't come into my mind. I might think about it. No. Why would I think about it? Very rarely would I think about non-duality. The only kind of thing I do is if there's pain in the body, then the attention gets rested into the body. But I don't even think about non-duality. It's a habit that I've been doing for so long that I don't even think about it. So if there's an emotional pain or if there's a physical pain, I'll rest the attention there. But I'm not even really, there's not even really any consciousness of it. It's a habit. And if it's really strong pain, like a really strong emotional pain or really strong physical pain, then I might lie down or get into bed and rest the attention there. But apart from that, non-duality doesn't get thought about at all. I'm trying to think if I ever think about something that I've been trying to formulate into words. But I really don't think about non-duality, so I don't look at anyone and think, oh, they're not the doer, she's not the doer, he's not the doer, or forgive them because they're not the doer. I just kind of respond and just have become a really, really normal human being in certain ways. In certain ways. I mean, also I can imagine that I'm really different human being, but that's more the personality that's different. Like I'm very creative and I spend a lot of time doing very creative things. I love to bike ride, I love to be by myself, and these sorts of things. And I don't have kids and I'm 36, so those sort of things compared to the majority of society, I suppose, is quite different. So in that way, I'm very different. And I speak about non-duality, but in the day-to-day living, I'm so normal. Like I have my routine, which I really love, my little routine. Me and Khaleesi get up and I wait until she asks me to go for a walk, which is normally about 9:30. I always have the intention of getting up and walking her straight away, but that doesn't happen. So we wait till Khaleesi asks her for a walk, and I eat, and I go for a bike ride or I go for a walk with her for a couple of hours, and I sit in the forest and what you might call meditate, but I don't really have a particular meditation. I just kind of sit there and feel the body, or let the thought comes, or whatever it is. Then I come back and I do something super creative in the afternoon, whether it be writing, sessions with people, editing some videos, and then I do sessions in the evening. So it's such a simple, normal life, such an ordinary life. And I don't think about non-duality in that. I just think about what's right in front of me. And sometimes what's right in front of me, or half the time, it's pleasurable and half the time it's painful. And I don't really have any imagination or any longing to get out of it. If it's really painful, then I take my time to let the body feel it. Don't try to, there's not an attempt to run away from it. And if it's pleasurable, sometimes I just lay in the pleasure. I'm just like, ya-da-da. But what I'm trying to say is that non-duality isn't about a dogma or a way of living or a religion or a thought process. It's really coming back to the simplicity of experiencing. And in that simplicity, this is the really amazing part, it's being experienced, but it's not being experienced for anyone. The someone is coming and going in the dream as a functioning that needs to happen, but that's no longer an experiencer. And so then there is just this smooth intimacy with everything that's happening. Which doesn't have this boundary of inside and outside. And doesn't have this sense that there's somebody in here experiencing a world out there. It's very, very simple and very simplistic, but also in that there is something that's quite miraculous. And then at the same time very ordinary. And there's not that sense anymore that there's somebody that's got to get out of experiencing. Sometimes there's a habit of wanting to get rid of a pain or a past conditioning, but it's a very loose habit, and the focus normally is to put the attention on that pain. But there's nothing that's having the experience anymore. So non-duality is really questioning who it is that's experiencing this. Who is having an experience? When we're super identified, it's not a question. I remember once I went to do a talk at my mum's carers meeting. My mum was a governor of carers in the UK, which is complicated to explain what it is, but if you're English, maybe you know. And she invited me to do a talk on mindfulness. And I know a bit about mindfulness because of having practiced Buddhism for so many years. So I went there and I tried to explain to them that things are a thought. So a thought comes up and you're saying this has happened or this has happened, and it's just a thought. And what began to happen in the audience was they began to get really mad with me, and I couldn't understand why they were getting so angry. And luckily my friend was there at the time to explain to me they don't know they're thinking. They believe it's true. It's just true. There's no distance, there's no awareness that they're thinking. And I was shocked. I got into this subject when I was so young, I couldn't remember being fully identified with thoughts and not even knowing that I was thinking. So knowing that the thought, they're a pain in the arse, or they're a bad person, that's a thought that arises in the brain and isn't actually a reality. And what happened was this audience began to get really mad with me, and luckily my friend took over because I had no clue why they were getting so mad. But they were getting mad because that was their reality. They believed that it was true. They weren't even aware they were thinking. That was just the way it was. That's the way it was. It was shocking. I was so shocked after that. Like I just couldn't remember it. And that's sometimes, I think I'm really great at relating to people, but sometimes I think I'm not so great in certain ways at relating to newcomers because it was so long ago that I got into this subject. I'm maybe sometimes a bit better for people that aren't so new to the subject. When they're new to the subject, I forget these little details. So at the beginning, you're just totally identified with what's happening. So any thought you have, you believe is a reality. So you believe that the table, that word table is a reality. You believe that I'm a woman and my name, that's a reality. Or if I annoy you, that's a reality. You don't even have a perspective that thoughts are appearing and colouring your reality like that. Now, normally people that listen to me, because I'm not so great with the beginners, have already come to conclusion and realised that thoughts are appearing. And there is a consciousness of thoughts. Now, two things happen there. So there's these thoughts appearing, and there's this personal awareness and attention that you can move onto some thoughts or away to other thoughts or move onto your body. And that's a functioning of the body, and that's not the big consciousness, because there's actually something beyond that personal movement of attention. Often people think that personal movement of awareness is the real awareness, and at first they look at that and they think that's it. But actually you begin to see that there's something beyond that that's looking at the person moving their attention. So maybe some of you guys still believe that awareness is that personal movement of awareness. But actually that is known too. That's appearing in the dream, and that's a functioning of the body. But in my talks and in other people's non-duality talks, we use that personal movement of attention. I instruct people to move it. But no, that is a functioning too, and that's not actually who you are. So at first you really believe that you're these thoughts appearing, and that your thoughts are true and everything you think is true, and then you begin to see that's untrue, but then you still think you're that personal awareness, and that you're that person that kind of chooses, and there is somebody there that's aware of the thoughts, but they choose, they have feelings, and they're still moving in time. So that personal awareness is moving in time. So you came into this room, you sat on this seat, and you looked at the computer, and ta-da! Here was Lisa. Ta-ta-ta-ta. Look at this fantastic jumper. I can see myself. Isn't it fantastic? Okay, sorry, serious non-duality, Lisa. Serious. Sorry, that's me testing my new microphone. I can see the sound waves on the side of the computer. Okay, what are we going back to? So we've got this the personal awareness, and a lot of people still believe they're that, and they believe that they have seen the true big awareness. But that person actually can't. You can't ever look at it. It's just looking. But often that's okay. That personal awareness turns around and feels like it's looking in the big awareness, and then eventually it sort of dissolves into it. But that's not actually who you are, and it's not actually someone that's having an experience. It is another experience. So the idea that you choose and that you're sitting here choosing to watch me is being experienced now. Something so big and boundless is experiencing that. That's not the actual experiencer. So there is a feeling of choice. So now everybody's got to make a choice. So I'm going to make everybody make a choice by asking a question. You can, and follow what I say. You know, this is like Simon Says. If you've ever played Simon Says before, you have to do as I say. So if I say Simon Says, you have to do it. And if I don't say Simon Says, you don't have to do it. Okay, this is very relevant to what I'm trying to explain to you. So make sure when you're sat there, you're actually doing it. Okay, so Simon says, tap your head. Now, you believe that you're tapping your head, that you chose to move your hand up there. Or maybe you don't even think that you chose, but you feel like you moved your hand up there to tap the head and that you're tapping the head. But actually, that is happening and you don't know how it's happening, and there's somebody or something that's kind of very subtly describing that you're doing it. But that's being experienced. That's not the actual reality of it. Okay, now, Simon says, pull your hair. So that's not, so you kind of like very subtly have told yourself a story that you're doing it. But if you come directly back to the experience, it's happening and that it's being experienced. And even that story that you are doing it is simply a story in thought formation that's appearing, giving the experience that somebody is inside the body doing it. Okay, and touch your arm. Now, who did that? Remember, it's Simon Says, so you got to have Simon Says first. So Simon says, touch your nose. Simon says, touch your head, forehead. Touch your boob. Who did that? We didn't say Simon Says. Simon says, touch your mouth. Simon says, touch your throat. Simon says, touch your arm. Stand up. Now, who stood up? Now, what happens in our bodies is we take responsibility with it. So if you got it right, you're like, and there is a very subtle somebody taking responsibility of it. And that's not wrong. Lisa takes responsibility that she did it all correctly. She didn't make any mistakes. But the difference is that's not the experiencer. That's seen as a formation appearing in this, but not an actual separate entity. So there's the story being told, okay, Lisa did very well, but that's not someone, that description, Lisa did very well, isn't actually somebody inside the body. That's an experience that comes and goes. Now, I'm sorry guys. I know I always try to not burp on these shows, but I end up doing it, and then people tell me it's because I'm a vegan, or that I need to take this or that to stop the gas. But if I was really identified, it would feel like I really did it, and then maybe I'd be embarrassed, or I'd be ashamed, or I'd be worried about, you know, what the viewers think and that they're going to switch off because I did that. But, I mean, embarrassment can still happen in me, but that's not somebody in here. That doesn't equal someone. That's just words appearing. When you're really identified, it's like the words become reality. But then when the identification begins to break, then it's just all kind of happening in one boundless space, and nothing really belongs to anything. There can still be the description of Lisa's body or your body or what's happening, but there's nothing claiming any of that. And there's not that energy of, because it's being claimed that you have an experience, there's not that energy of trying to keep that person alive and make that person perfect. It's just as it is, as it is. I don't know how clear that is. I have to wriggle in and to my setup and touch Skype to see what the feedback is. Oh look, if I put my hand up to the camera, it changes the focus. No. Oh yeah, it does. You see? Yeah, just change the light then. Huh. So okay, we'll take some questions because I'm not really sure, how much you guys understood that and if there's anything. So just if you're new to the stream, you just come on now. I was just asking before if you could make sure if you're wanting to ask a question, if you can have a headset with a microphone on, because it's really uncomfortable for other people if you don't. So if you could just make sure before you chat, if you do that. Let's see what's being said on chat. If there's any technical issues. What camera is it, Lisa? Oh, well, it's a Logitech. Is that how you say it? Logitech. I'm not sure how you say that. Logitech, I think. And it was about £100. So if you look at the one that's £100, very good camera, I think. I changed the setting and I think it stopped all the problems that was happening. Do we? Do we just call in the Skype anytime? Yeah, you can call, but I have to work through the questions and I normally don't get to everybody. So don't take it personally if I haven't replied to you. I'm not picking out people that I don't want to reply to. Sometimes I pick people that I've not heard from before. So if you're a regular person, then I tend to try to pick you last. Yep. Okay. So who have we got? Oh, it keeps changing focus, does it? Funny. I'll have to watch it back later. Maybe there's a button I can press to stop that. I have like a whole dashboard. Let's see. Focus. Oh yeah, it's on autofocus. I don't know what will happen if I take it off. I maybe need somebody to control it, so better I leave it on auto. Hey, I would like to talk to you on live stream if you have time. Hi, John. Okay, I'll call you now, John. If you just make sure that you've got your headset and everything ready. Hey, John. Hey. Thanks. Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Let me just move that up so I can see you properly. Nice. Hey. Oh yeah? Oh, it's lagging? Which one? The one on you on Skype? Oh yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Hang on, let's just try. My sound is good though. Is my sound good? Yeah, I think that's it back in. It might just because my computer's doing so many things, it might just be a bit out of time. Yeah. 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 Wow. Yeah, yeah. 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 This was after the LSD or after the SD? Yeah, yeah. 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 And is your mind really rapid, or is it going in and out? Yeah. 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 Can I just stop you there? Everybody's just going crazy on Facebook because yeah, it's doing the sound. So just let me just fix it. I can see all these messages. Thanks guys for everyone telling me. I forgot to link the Skype. Okay, that should be better for everybody. No, it's not. Okay. Sorry to have interrupted your flow. Okay, so everyone should be able to hear you now. Great. So they just missed all of that, but hey ho, it doesn't matter about them. Yeah. Um, and so now, like through everything that you've said, what is it that you want to work on with me, or what is it that you want to look at, or what kind of is the question? Yeah. Yeah. It from my perspective, and I'm not positive about that, but from my perspective, it would be that that what's happened um, is there is so it's a complicated thing to be able to explain, but there's some sort of conditioning or past pain that's coming up, which is painful for you, and why the thinking's coming back is because it's trying to avoid it. Sometimes when this opening happens, fear comes. Like, so when there's this massive space, the fear comes. And if there isn't a centeredness to just allow that fear to come up, what can happen is the energy does its similar pattern, goes to the head, and then focuses on thinking. But what sort of thinking was happening? Yeah. 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 I'm sorry, everyone's going crazy about the sound. I keep getting all these messages coming up. No, you're not too loud, they can't hear you. So I've made a mistake in something, which I'm not aware of. Okay. So can I just call you back? It should work. I can't understand why it's not. Just one sec. So it should work now, guys. Hey, it should be working. You don't have video of me. One sec. There you go. Let him just speak again. Oh no, your sound isn't going in. It's coming into me. Hang on a sec. Just let me go into Skype settings, conversation. I'm sorry, it keeps distracting us from what we're actually talking about. Just speak again. No. No, I'm going to just put in a new source setting. One sec. Do you just speak? No, there's nothing. Yeah. Yeah. So let me just put in a new setting, just a new camera shot for just 1 second. I don't know how to fix it. So we can either carry on, guys, and you guys just can't hear him, or yeah, I don't know why it's not working. Just let me try one more thing. So go to source settings. And now try to speak. No. We can't hear you at all. Can you just turn your video off and just let me put it onto you a second? It's going to put your name on there though, do you mind that? Yeah? Okay, so now try speaking. No. Okay, now try speaking. Say that again. No. No. Okay, one more time. No, I can't hear him. Okay. Well, do you just want to ask your question and then I'll just kind of try and repeat it for people? I totally forgot what you wanted me to say, what we were saying, or what we were talking about. It's no one else can hear you. Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah, I can hear you, yeah. 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 So what is it that you feel in your body generally? So he's basically, sorry, I'm just going to explain to everyone what he was saying. So basically he's talking about how I'd suggested last time that he goes and stays in ashram and he wasn't so interested in staying in the ashram, and he was also saying that all his feelings were really intense and everything was really intense from being removed away. So what is I forgot the question now. No, I forgot what I was going to. Yeah, what? So, what is it that you feel in your body a lot of the time? What is it that your body's feeling? Like right now, what does your body feel like? I'm in your day to day. So he just said a jitteriness because he's drunk tea, and then also a calmness. But what is it that you generally feel every day? Like obviously it changes a lot, but do you have a general overall feeling? Yeah. And you're scared? Are you this is where you have to go, is the fear. That you have to go into that fear. And I know that's like a scary thing to do, but just do it bit by bit. Yeah. 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 So you sound like you're doing the right thing. I have to say that I'm getting so many messages from people, so maybe I have to move on because there seems to be a problem with our connection, and they can't hear you. And because you're speaking a lot, they would like to hear you. So so maybe another time we can talk. But I'm not sure why the connection's not working. I'm sorry about that. I will sort it out hopefully by Sunday. You call again. But thank you so much for your call and nice to speak to you. Yeah, if you yeah. Yeah, yeah, nice. Okay, hopefully I'll have it sorted. Yeah. Bye. Thanks, John. So sorry, guys. I have done everything that. Do you know what I think it is? I think it's a program that I've got open that it can't handle. So just bear with me while I try to shut this program. Okay, so I've shut that program. Let's have a look what's happening here. Okay, so there's been lots of problems. Make him type out everything he says in chat. Yeah, sorry guys. So I don't know if this is going to be the same for everyone. As far as I know, oops, I have everything correctly set up. The only thing I can do is try to do another one. Sources, sourcey source, show source, monitor, window. And see if that works. Yeah. Skype, okay. Maybe this will work. Okay. So maybe that will work now. Is it on private setting instead of public setting? Source. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. So somebody, yeah. Hey Simon. Hi Alex. Maybe to try a different microphone or without headphones to mix sound correctly. Yeah. I can hear you and see you and all is sync. Hi, nice to see you. Hey Sam. Or you could hear him really quietly. I don't know. Still no sound. Yeah. We can't hear him. I stopped watching you after It Doesn't Matter About Him. I felt this was a bit disrespectful to your viewers. I know it's the person feeling this, but I could not hear the man's questions anyway. I thought the whole point of an open live stream was for everyone to feel included, but I ended up feeling like a gooseberry, so I left. I still love you and enjoy your teachings and will probably tune in again in the future. Love to you all. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, Karen. I tried to get all the technical stuff working, and I was only joking, obviously, about It Doesn't Matter About Him, but I was trying to get it to work, but I can't. YouTube feedback here, Lisa. Audience cannot hear the first caller. Yeah. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Lisa. We can't hear John. Hey, Lisa. Doolity from live chat on YouTube. I have all this so clear in my mind, but that's as far as it goes. There has been a few moments of clarity, but most of the time I'm just walking around as a separate, scared little me, even though all of this is very understood from an intellectual perspective. I feel like there's some kind of cause or magic spell blocking me. I want to talk over video if we can. We can try, but if the sound doesn't work, then I'm just going to go to written questions, because it's really hard for people to listen if they can't hear you. Okay? Hey! Hey! I can hear you, but the audience can't, so I just think, yeah, I don't know why that is. Maybe you could try taking out your headphones. Just try it. Yeah. Let's see. Say that again. No. Okay, so we have to do it through written. I'm sorry. Okay, thanks. Bye. Okay, guys, so I'll try and get this fixed for next week. I'm not sure. There's something. Hello? Yeah, need to practice. Okay, so this is for Z. I don't think it's a spell that's blocking you. I think it's just simply that your mind gets obsessed with liberation and the idea of liberation, not yours in particular, but people's mind. And it's like the wrong way of looking at things. Well, the way that things should be looked at is like this is always an open exploration in what it is to be human. And so, while you feel identified and separate, rather than thinking too much about when am I going to get enlightened or I understand intellectually, focus on what the actual experience is, what's actually happening inside the body. Often we're so taught that the intellect is king that we only want to learn things, and we only want to learn things intellectually, but really waking up isn't, there's a part to the intellect, but it's really coming back to what's actually happening and seeing what's happening in the experience. So what actually is your experience now? And where is that separation? Where is that separate person that's claiming things, that's identifying? Where is it holding on from? Okay, he's writing. Right now it seems more clear, probably because I'm talking to you. But most of the time it feels like the mind and the thoughts are too overpowering, blocking out the sun, so to speak. Okay, so you need to go into the body and find what it is that you're strongly trying to avoid. So just go into your body now, and what sensation is there? Because the thinking's happening to try to get away from the bodily sensation. So the mind is trying to take all the attention up here. So what's actually going on in your body? A slight fear. So put your attention into that slight fear. So move your personal attention into that fear and that sense of holding back. So put the attention there and begin to explore what it is. What it is you're afraid of. So ask yourself, what is it that I'm afraid of here? What am I holding back from? And just let it answer. So keep your attention in the fear and just let the thought stream come. I don't want to feel this, or whatever it's saying. It feels like I will die or be snuffed out in some way. So this is where the exploration needs to go, because what's happening is you're feeling this feeling in your body, and then the thoughts try to take all the attention so you don't feel like that, because that's a scary way to feel. Or he says it feels like I'll die snuffed out in some way, or there's a black hole pulling things down. So like my advice is over the next week or the next few days is to keep investigating those sensations and what's going on there, and see what type of thinking gets produced from there. Like what sort of thoughts are coming up. It's exciting seeing these new things. Like you, the more you begin to learn about yourself, you begin to see all these different ways in which the body holds back. Or not in which the body holds back, in which the thought, like you begin to see all the different ways in which the thoughts are produced. And how it affects you, that feeling, how your life gets driven by that feeling. And how the tension gets put solely into the forehead and into the head. It feels like there's a lot of junk there, he says. That's great. To see that. It feels like there's a lot of junk there, a lot to work through from a psychological perspective. Yeah, so work through it. See what's happening. See what the body's saying. See what's coming up. Just bit by bit. So the best way to do it is to rest your attention there and see what thoughts are being produced, and remember, like use memory exercises to when you felt like that before in life, how you've tried to avoid it, what type of stories come from that. So listening to non-duality's got a relevance, but it's another way to just keep the attention up here and actually to avoid the experience. And waking up is coming fully back to the experience, because in the experience there is no experiencer. There is only experiencing happening. But I've done that so much before, it seems like the more I look deeply, the more junk comes to the surface, like it's never ending. And I just want to be free. You see, that's totally the wrong attitude to have. Like the attitude to have is to be grateful and to see everything as a gift that's coming up, and to be prepared to die to those feelings 1 billion times over for eternity. Yes, you're right. There is no experiencer. That is very clear right now. But what happens is we have these feelings, and then the mind lives up here and it becomes more and more divided, the reality. The freedom is in the experience, and the feeling is part of the experience. Fear can be part of the experience, but it divides off, tries to stay up here. Then your mental reality becomes the reality. You become so real. Your mental reality becomes so real. Aziz says, thank you. Well, hopefully I can speak to you. I'm just going to try one more thing with Skype to see if I can get that to work. Hello. So let me just... So let's see if I can get that to work. Hello? Yeah, let's see if I can get that to work. So if there's somebody that wants to call in, if you've got a question, not if you just want to say hello. Hey, can we talk on stream? Sure, are you still here, Bradley? Call if you're still here. Hey Lisa, I'm looking forward to seeing you in France retreat. I've been feeling very sad these past days, and I'm trying to just feel in the body, as you say. I feel my chest and throat is tight, but for some time nothing feels genuine. Even staying in the sadness seems false, because I'm completely honest. I know I'm just doing it so it will end. Can you comment on this? No, this is I mean, yes, this is great for you to see this, Carla, because what's coming up now is a sense of fakeness and a sense of falseness. So even that, you're beginning to feel false. So use that idea of falseness, that there's something false about everything, to go into the feelings. I assure you that that feeling of false is coming from those feelings. So you feel false. You feel like you've been faking it. So the thoughts are producing, even this is faking it, everything's faking it. Use everything the mind throws up, everything, to go back and to go into the body and to experience it more deeply. You don't need to get to the end and make yourself perfect, like the end of your personal ways of being. But in going into the experience, you'll begin to see there is no experiencer. But you have to just go through this process of going in, because the mind just keeps going out there, and believing what it thinks is true. But that's brilliant. It's really brilliant. Don't let the mind come off as true, that this is true. It's not true. It's not true. Hey Jessie, hi Phyllis. We cannot. Hi Monica. So if anyone wants to call, just call on Skype, and we're going to try it again. I got a good feeling about this time. So this is from Graham. Hey Lisa. Oh, there's Lee. Hey Lee. Hello. Hello. Hey Lee. Yeah, no, it's not working. Still not working. Next week we will be able to talk, or on Sunday. I think there will be huge feedback if you do that, but we can try. So, hello? Hello? Hey! Yes, I can't hear you now. Let's have a look. One sec. Preferences. Okay, audio. Built in. Let me just try and quit Skype and open and phone you back. Hey!
Hey, any better? Any sound?
Yeah, the sound. Let's just turn this off so it's not. But I get the feeling that it'll feed back.
Okay.
But we'll see what people say. But great.
Right on. Hi.
Yeah, it's working. Hey.
So, this is sort of like the dance between starting to get your shit figured out and your old patterns of the personality of the person.
Yeah.
So I would say, for instance, earlier with that comment about, well, the listeners don't matter kind of thing, and I can see how that can trigger, because I felt something too, like, and so then I was like, okay, great, now this is an opportunity to go back. When did I feel in my story like some sort of disrespect or like a past event that is now making this one bigger than it needs to be, or it would just pass through.
Yeah.
So I guess the question is, how does one, like in the real world, navigate outside of meditation and all that?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't think I can hear you.
You can't hear me?
Oh, I can now.
Yeah.
I can. Okay. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, you see,
how does one mix it?
Yeah. The first thing is that I believe you've got to come to a resolution inside of yourself, like a surrender to the idea that body-mind mechanism is conditioned in certain ways, and more than likely, this is going to most probably trigger a few people listening. More than likely, that's not going to change that much in your life. What can happen is, through awareness of your particular conditioning and your past and your way of looking at the world, that will get less, and you won't act out those patterns so strongly. So therefore, when it comes up and I say something disrespectful to the listeners, or if I did say something disrespectful, I can't even remember, I'm talking so quickly, but if I did say something disrespectful, then that pain comes up, it hits you, and then there's a moving on. When you're really identified, you would have gone into hatred for me. That's it. It would have gone into hatred and a rejection of me. But when there's more awareness around it, there is just a gentle seeing that in that moment you felt rejected. And more than likely that rejection comes from something, or the way that your parents were, your school was when you were younger. Like in the apparent flow of things, it comes from a past experience, but there's not this strong identification with it or holding on to it. And this is a gradual process of becoming more aware of yourself. And even with the clear seeing that who you truly are isn't that, it's still going to respond in its particular ways. And there could be change. There is change to that, and there is dramatically less suffering, and dramatically less going into the stories. That's huge, but your body's always going to have its particular flavour. And when you're a spiritual seeker, because that's been so painful for a lot of people, your particular conditioning and your particular past history, you have an idea, and you also build up a dislike of yourself or a dislike of the way you are, and you have an idea that your particular way of being is going to completely vanish. And it's not that. You've got to get to the point where you begin to fall in love with your particular colour. And your colour is going to come from your painful experiences as much as your pleasurable experiences. And you're going to be coloured even more throughout your life, through your experiences. And that has to be, and some of us have more difficult conditioning and more difficult pasts, and some of us have lighter ones. But all of it makes such an amazing colour, like the whole variety of people and different experiences and different views at looking at this reality. So it's really like waking up is, there is an extent to constantly going back to the initial feeling. So you really begin to learn that particular personality type, and you really begin to understand it. And then that never changes. So if I have a strong reaction, I'll go into looking at that strong reaction. So if I have a strong feeling that comes up, but then there comes a point where you just surrender to that. You also surrender to your particular way of being. And sometimes you'll challenge your pains and pleasures, and sometimes you won't. But you'll also get to a point where you see that you're okay. You are okay as in not okay as in you're okay, you're not going to suffer anymore, but you're okay as in you begin to like yourself again. If you look at someone else, or if you look at animals or something, the way that you appreciate their personality, even though they can have cheeky personalities or naughty personalities, or they can go against your particular conditioning and what you like, you kind of fall in love with them. And it's the same with your particular way of being, and you begin to really trust yourself, because you really see the way you're formed, and you really begin to understand yourself. So it's kind of like a delicate mix of seeing it, and then also at the same time accepting it. But it's nobody's really acceptance, that just kind of grows over time. And seeing and seeing what the seeking is, what the longing is, like, why are you trying, at what point are you trying to change something? What are you longing for? So if you have a painful reaction come up to what I say, what is it then that you're longing for? What is the better thing that you want? What else is it that you want to experience?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And I think it comes back to that same longing to be approved, or to be loved, and then that's the trace back, it seems, where it's like, wait a minute, it's already here, and this is the thing I need to start trusting, because this is the thing that goes through this experience of this flavor or this color, and then starting to trust that more, and then I believe it grows. Like it seems as if it's growing in the world of things. It's when things are really polar or strong, there's still that movement back to being hurt, but for the most part, there's more of that
trusting,
steadiness.
And it really is, because when you tend to be, if you've had a difficult childhood, then you tend to not trust yourself as a personality type. So you tend to want to look to others to trust. And I notice a lot of people that, this might be a controversial thing to say, but a lot of people that like the idea of gurus are very attracted to gurus, or to even to therapy or self-improvement, it's often because you want this external force to guide you because you're so unsure of yourself. And it really is coming back to this confidence in you, and also seeing that, okay, I have that momentum, that movement to distrust myself, and then just seeing that comes up. And it really is coming back to trust that amness that you are, that presence that you are, and feeling the empowerment of that. Yeah.
And this is where I think like someone with a steady presence in love really helps too. I was with someone the other day and I was able to say some more controversial things, and it was held with love, and your body just feels it right away.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter what they do.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God, I was actually heard.
Yeah.
And they really accepted that, and like it does something to your body.
Yeah.
And I think that's where the addiction can come from to the guru,
Yeah.
because that's a great feeling.
Yeah.
But it's also when you start to see it happening with more people in the world as you trust yourself more.
Yeah.
Like things start to go away, and also you get more strength,
Yeah.
or there's more strength
Because
in the presence.
what people are doing often, especially when they're strongly identified, is they're always trying to get what they want. So therefore they're not listening to you, and they're not being open to that experience. They're seeing you as an object to give them what they want. And so therefore your energy has always been met by that, or up till now has been met by that. And when it's not met by that, and it's met by an openness, there is such a beautiful experience. Like your training is to expect humans, you're not even conscious, to be looking to see what they can get out of something. And so when you do begin to experience that, but really you say it was them, it's really you. Because even though you think you experience someone else, it's really you. It's you that's beginning to accept you more, and you're beginning to feel safer with other people. So it's actually all you. Like it's just that the guru or the teacher, your mind has told you that they're safe or something. Like, and it is their energy to an extent, but really it's you. Like that experience was down to you feeling more confident in relationship, because ultimately there is no relationship. There is only amness with them, and that with that energy of them speaking and the energy of you speaking, and there's no position which is you.
Yeah, the closest I can get to that is the shared presence we're in. You know, it doesn't yet feel like that's me, as in, but I can totally feel the shared presence of the energy of the person that's speaking, the surrounding noises. It's still focused, in the conversation or something, but there's a gentle awareness of, the whole scene, and I'm like, wow, this is interesting, because it still feels focused a bit, but it can also take in the environment as itself.
Yeah, and that's a gentle merging. Normally, the environment and your sense of self, that merging into it. Nice.
Right on.
So I get to meet you in a few weeks. The flight to the UK is still happening, or not to the UK, to Spain. Donald Trump hasn't banned anything else.
Yeah, it should be good. I mean, everything's all set. I dotted my I's and crossed the T's, and the rest I got to let go. So, yeah, it's all set to roll. So
nice. How exciting.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. Oh, thanks for calling in, Lee, and telling me to do that. That was a very good suggestion.
Yeah, hopefully it's not too terrible for the other people with the reverb. But,
it's so funny, life. I start off saying, we've got to consider the other people that are listening and make sure you got your mics in and everything. And then from this side, it just goes.
Yeah.
It's funny the way it goes.
Right.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
Great.
Thanks, Lee.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
All okay. Woo! Hi, Lisa. I'm having a bizarre experience. On my phone, I can hear you. I can't hear you at all. But on my computer, I can hear an American speaker speaking to you. On phone, you're still messing around trying to get the sound on the computer. He's saying you get more strength, and you're saying they're not being open to that experience. Yeah. Yeah. There's something strange happening tonight. I'm not sure what it is. I will. It works so well on Sunday. I had this camera and microphone, and it worked really well. Then I did all the tests today, and not so well now. It's the way it goes. How does this work? Would this be a good time? Hey, Patrick.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi.
How's it going?
Oh,
You might need to put in your headset and your microphone.
I don't have one, but I turned off the live stream, so perhaps this is not causing any excess noise.
I don't think so. I think that's good.
Okay.
Let me see what else I can shut down, because it's finding it hard. Hey. Whereabouts are you calling from?
Where am I from?
Yeah.
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio, United
nice.
States. I suppose this nervousness is part of the experience
Yeah.
for
I
most
think-
people. Huh?
Yeah. I think it must be so bizarre. I mean, I never experienced it when I was seeking. You had to go to live talks, you couldn't do it over the internet, but it must be so weird that you're sitting in your room watching the TV and then suddenly I call you in your room. It must be a very bizarre experience. So I can understand the nervousness just because our brains aren't used to that. Our brain is used to TV is over there and it's outside of this room. Like it's happening outside. We're watching something that's away and we're watching it privately, and then suddenly you're a part of that TV experience. Very funny.
Mhm. So, this is non-duality. We're talking about the supreme absolute consciousness, are we not?
Yes, yeah.
And our mission here is what? To avoid misery at all costs and establish bliss consciousness, right?
No,
No.
no. Which school do you come from? Where did you learn non-duality?
Well, I have a Catholic background as well as Vedic science, Vedic knowledge. So you don't want eternal bliss then, am I correct about that?
Do I want eternal bliss? It just is a bizarre idea that's appearing now. So I've got no relationship to it. The idea comes up of, do I want eternal bliss? And then they're just words that sit there and then they pass.
that through which these words passes is what we could call bliss. Right?
Well, bliss is an experience. Bliss is something that appears in the world. It comes and goes. It's an experience. Often when you have awakening experiences, the effect is a lot of bliss. A lot of bliss. But bliss is, it's an experience. Unless you use bliss as emptiness or everything, but apart from that, bliss is a sensation. Like when you've experienced bliss, it's a sensation which is being experienced. It's not an experiencer. Bliss isn't an experiencer. The experiencer is not a thing. It's totally empty and it's everything. And in that, it's home. In that, it's complete. Bliss is an effect that happens in the body. But if you are a body that is not identified, and there is that seeing that who you are is a freedom, if someone's macheting you or stabbing you, there will be pain. This is the unrealistic expectation of the seeker, and it has this idea of bliss and this goal of bliss. But bliss is an experience that comes and goes, and when you have that idea that bliss is it, you will always remain a seeker. Bliss sees so clearly that bliss is happening in the dream, and there is something that experiences bliss.
Well, we're speaking separate languages, but I enjoy letting it wash over me nonetheless.
Yeah. That's why I asked where you came from, like what your tradition was, because it's normally there's so many different languages when speaking about non-duality. I call these the Tibetan bells. Can you hear the eek, 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 eek?
Yeah, what's
Let's
that?
go. I think it's feedback, but I always think of it like the bells going, like the Tibetan bells going, or something like this. I think it's just feedback between our computers.
Mm-hmm. I think you're my guru, Lisa.
Funny type of guru.
I can't blow up your ego.
That sort of thing
Women
wouldn't.
actually-
That sort
yeah,
of
go
thing
ahead.
wouldn't blow up my ego because it's against my personality type. On the personality type, so on the personal character, my character is a loner. So the idea of having followers or being a guru on the personality spectrum is not a pleasurable thing. I'm like, it just
Exactly.
it's not my conditioning or the way this body is to tend to remove myself from people. So these sorts of things wouldn't do anything for me. They would most probably be like,
Good. Good.
even public speaking, like it's something that would have been such a painful thing when I was identified before. Like it really was against the way this body's set up.
Do you witness your sleep?
No.
Good. So you go to sleep and it's out. You're out cold, right? And then you wake up
Yeah.
like a normal person.
Yeah.
That's good. There's something called moksha,
Yeah.
and it's when your consciousness is turned on all the time and you're like detached. So we're all using similar terms here, and there's actually this this battle between these gurus and then these gurus and these imposters and these imposters. Like, what is enlightenment?
Yeah.
And we need to reconcile this as a
Oh,
team.
but it's human nature. It's the current human nature. It's the current. It's something that will begin to change the more waking up happens in humanity. But the current nature of humans is, and the way that we speak, is that we speak against things. So in order to say that I'm tall, I need to speak against small. I need to have a comparison to compare it to. So our nature of speaking and the nature of expressing and the nature of humanity is in comparison at the moment. So in order to even speak about anything, we always have something which isn't right, which we're speaking against, which we're comparing to. So it's just the nature, and it's not personal. Like, all teachers do it. They all like say ones that they like or ones that they don't like, or by just speaking you're kind of referring to something that isn't true. But ultimately that's not true. The truth is this stillness which is experiencing itself now. And in 100 years' time, or 200 years' time, when this becomes more the norm, then the way of speaking and the way of communicating will really begin to change. But at the moment, we're kind of in a society which is really identified, and we're in a language which is comparison. So it's not something that's going to be easy to just make happen now, but it's something that will begin to happen in humanity. Because how can you speak if you're not speaking against something? It would be impossible. So it's just the unfortunateness. Like, sometimes when I'm speaking, I speak against the guru idea. And at the same time, in my heart, I'm really not against it. Like, I'm not against that. And like, when I say things, it sounds as if I'm against something else, but it's just the nature of words. Like, internally,
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like that.
Well, there is a very renowned guru that said, actually, according to Vedic tradition, women are not meant to be gurus. However, everybody listen up. Lisa is not a normal human being, and she really is authorized to be leading you, and you're very, very blessed, and she's a worshipable being, and that's
So why
all
do
I'll
they say in Vedic that women aren't allowed to be the guru?
It's just according to the Shastras or the scriptures. I don't know why. It's just the way it is, and I think there's something to it, but there are these exceptions.
No, it's not. I do think that there is a difficulty when the woman speaks, in that. So this is the difficulty that happens, and I don't know if this is what they mean. This is like slightly complicated and hard to explain. The difficulty is so our first conditioning is normally the mother. Sometimes our first conditioning is the father, but normally our first relationship with a human is the mother. And so the mother is such an important figure in everybody's conditioning and everybody's life. And so when you begin to be a speaker, you begin to see that everybody is looking at you through their mother lens. And sometimes the father relationship doesn't happen till you're older. It can be, and it is changing, but you normally have the mother relationship first. And so a lot of your view, a lot of your pains and pleasure and your personality type is very associated with the mother. So then when you're a female speaker, you get so many strong projections of the mother, but people aren't even conscious of it because they can't see their projections or what's going on. They just feel their feelings, and their thoughts seem to be true, but they're not even aware of what those thoughts are. So if there's any difficulty in being the female speaker, is that the projection onto you can become really strong. Not that it's not strong with men, but I just think that because your first relationship normally is with the mother, then there's something, and when you speak and when you're in a position of authority, then it often reminds the brain of that. So that's the only difficulty, but I see that as a blessing because there's so much that you can point out there There's so much that can be talked about there.
Mhm.
So even when you said to me that I'm an almighty guru, do you know the thought that popped up here?
What's that?
I wonder what his relationship was like with his mother. That was the
Yeah.
first thought that popped up here.
Well, we've come a long way. I'm in her house right now, and we've had some serious drama and karma. I actually have a little scratch. This is my evidence. She literally will become ever so slightly physically violent. Well, I have never been physically violent towards the woman, but we've been balancing karma. And Eckhart Tolle said, if you think you're so, or Ram Dass maybe, if
Yeah.
you think you're so enlightened, go and spend some time with your parents.
Yeah.
So it's a gradual process,
Yeah.
and we've been making a lot of progress. So
Oh, nice. And is she into this subject? Does she have a more open attitude or view towards life?
well, I think she's a very advanced soul, and she is gonna make it. She's gonna become an avatar or a saint. She already is, but then again, we all go in and out of this mundane experience and then the bliss experience. So she's not exactly a seeker. She just gets a lot of energy from me, basically.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I think that maybe the woman is going to be not the woman as in speaking about your mother, but the woman in general, the woman relationship is going to be an amazing guru for you.
Yes, there's the archetypal gopi named Radha, who is not necessarily the mother, the divine mother, but she's actually the divine conjugal lover. And this is why I'm sure you get many more men than women. It's been my analysis.
Yeah.
That's good. It's
on
good.
YouTube, most probably, I get more
Yeah.
men, but in person at events, because men are less likely to come, so when I do retreats, I would say it's even. Sometimes more women, because men are less shy to go to an event. I don't know why that is, but on YouTube, I think, or in the following behind on the computer, I'd say it's more men, but in person, it's even or slightly more women. But that's because women are easier at going to an environment which is new and which they don't know people. I think. That's
Very good.
So have you spent time in India?
No, I have not yet. I know that I'm gonna go. I don't know when. Yeah, that should be a good experience.
How old are you?
I'm 22.
Again, I just suddenly had a panic then of like you were going to be like 16. You look older than that, but then I was like, I've had the experience before where I've had a very young caller and been like,
Yeah, you have some age limit, right?
18, yeah.
18. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's relieving.
Nice.
So you've mentioned this 100 to 200 years figure a couple of times.
Oh yeah?
I'm actually of the belief that it's more like 10 to 20.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
It's like an exponential change. We're like in what we call Kali Yuga, or the Iron Age of ignorance, and we're gonna do a big switch to the Satyug, or the Golden Age of enlightenment.
Yeah.
And we're in the midst of that right now, and that's called the Pralaya.
Yeah.
And it's a very volatile time, and it's very exciting,
Yeah.
and it's gonna get better and better.
I have a feeling there's going to be a big change coming, because obviously with your president, it's rising people up. It's making, like, people are going against that, and so I feel like there's going to be a change that happens.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a friend that comes from Cincinnati. His name's David Hoffmeister. He's a teacher. He has a house there, a community there. How do you say it? Cincinnati.
Cincinnati?
Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's a good place.
It's on the East Coast?
No, I consider it right in the heart of the USA. Ohio is shaped like a heart, and it's from the United States perspective. If Mother Earth was looking at us, then it would be right here.
Huh.
It's Ohio. It's just my own self-fulfilling prophecy. Ooh, look at me, I'm very special. But that's the thing here, everybody. You are the center of the universe.
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah. But not the you that can move in time, the you that's always still. The you that moves in time believes it is the center of the universe, but that's something that comes and goes. But you, as that stillness, that presence that always is the center of the universe. And then the you, the personal you, comes in and out. It's there and then it's not. What time is it there?
I don't know. Everybody seems so still. I'm keeping my awareness on your audience here. I think they seem to be enjoying this.
Yeah.
But I don't want to take up too much of their time. Maybe somebody else would like to receive darshan.
Yeah, maybe it might be that it's cut off. It's been a bit of a problem tonight. Yeah, there's still people there.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Oh, lovely meeting you. You seem like you've got a very sweet heart that's very open.
Thank you. Okay then.
Thanks.
We'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you
Bye.
next time. Bye. Hey, Julie. Hi, Bradley. Okay, well, it's 8 o'clock. I'm going to stop now. I'm sorry, guys, that it's been really difficult with the callers. And I'm sorry to you if I made you all feel left out. I can't remember what I said, but I can sometimes make cutting jokes. That is a personality trait that I have. And in England, we also have a bit of a tendency towards sarcasm. So I apologise if I hurt anybody's heart, but it's also an opportunity to see what's there and what you want, and also what it hurts as well, because really your freedom is in the experience, not out of it. It's in it. It's in experiencing, not jumping out, not trying to imagine a different reality, not living up here in your interpretation of what is, right in the middle of it. And that might include the pain of rejection from people. I can be rejected by people. I think I've annoyed my neighbours because I always walk up mud. I can't remember to take my boots off right at the bottom of my apartment block, because I should take my Wellingtons off there and then walk up barefooted. But I can't seem to remember that, so I walk up unaware that I'm always leaving mud everywhere, like I walk my mud in. And they all know it's me because it goes all the way up to my apartment, and then I kind of see it on the way back. And then I saw someone cleaning up the other day and they were like, at me. So then I was like, oh, sorry. It's part of this. Part of life. Okay, so I shall see you Sunday, and I will practice and get it all sorted for Sunday. It's looking really good, I can see, but there's just some issue with something that's causing problem tonight. Lots of love. Bye, guys.